Troy Baker has revealed how the birth of his son helped him understand Joel's controversial decision at the climax of The Last of Us Part 1, and talked about his ongoing wish to play Daredevil during an at times emotional appearance at the Milan Games week in Italy. In a recording of the interview, Baker, who voiced protagonist Joel Miller in The Last of Us Part 1, explained that he was at a disadvantage to the game's writer and creative director Neil Druckmann when it came to relating to Joel's decisions. During an emotional appearance at the Milan Games week in Italy, Troy Baker discussed his ongoing desire to play Daredevil and shared how the birth of his son helped him understand Joel's contentious choice at the conclusion of The Last of Us Part 1. In an audio clip from the interview, Baker, who provided the voice for The Last of Us Part 1's protagonist Joel Miller, explained that, in terms of understanding Joel's choices, he had a disadvantage over the game's creator and writer Neil Druckmann. When asked if Baker would have made the same choices as Joel, the actor said, "When we were making Part 1 I was at a disadvantage to Neil, because Neil was a father. Because of this, there are spoilers in this section for The Last of Us Part 1. In the event that he lost his daughter, what would I look like was a very real possibility for him." In particular, Baker was referring to Joel's choice to save Ellie at the game's climax by forbidding Firefly doctors from performing a lethal procedure on her that might have produced a cure for the cordyceps infection that was eradicating humanity. Baker became a father after finishing the game. Furthermore, Baker added, "I have a son, and I don't know what I would look like if I lost him. But I am confident in the fact that I would stop at nothing to save him if I could. Anything I could do to save him." People have thus questioned why Joel would do that when he had the opportunity to save the world, and my response to them is always this: he did save the world. The only difference was that the world was that girl. The voice actor said in the same interview that discussions he and Ashley Johnson had with Druckman on the set inspired some of the game's elements, such as Joel's desire to be a singer and Ellie's desire to become an astronaut. Additionally, Baker elaborated on his desire to eventually work on a Daredevil video game. "I've said it a lot, but I am a huge Daredevil fan," Baker declared. "Charlie Cox did an amazing job for the program, and I had the chance to speak with him about it. I explained to him the significance of his portrayal of Daredevil. I want to either play the role of Matt Murdock in a game, or I want to direct the game." Baker claims that his longtime comic book loves are Batman and Daredevil, and that the blindness of the title character is at least partially the reason he wants to take part in a Daredevil game. "In any case, the reason we play video games is because the character can perform an action that I am unable to. What really interests me about making that game, and it would be a big challenge for me as an actor, to be able to play someone who wasn't sighted, is what does that game look like when I can do something that the character can't. I've already played Batman. All I need to do now is take on the role of Daredevil." The Last of Us will be adapted into a live-action film that will debut on HBO on January 15th of 2023. Bella Ramsey from Game of Thrones will play Ellie, and Pedro Pascal will play Joel Miller. For a breakdown of each trailer, as well as information on why Ramsey was advised not to play The Last of Us Part 1 prior to the adaptation's filming, see IGN's coverage. Anthony works as a freelancer for IGN, where he covers news in the fields of science and video games. He doesn't have time for your antics because he has more than 8 years of experience reporting on breaking developments in a variety of scientific fields.